Hi, it's lexgineer, and today I want to talk about Apple Labs. It seems like in my environment only few people know what is it really, so let's break this topic into details. First of all, let's see how it was in 2023. In the developer application, you had an opportunity to go to a special section. There you could see a few activities, but the point of interest is this one-to-one talk with the Apple expert on chosen technology. There were a lot of different topics you could discuss, and you just needed to choose one and book the appointment. The process was pretty straightforward. You got the email from the Apple that you confirmed the appointment. Second, you could have a special access to Q and A Slack environment, workspace, I mean. And third, you got this confirmation that you are approved for an Apple Talk. And briefly, you had to prepare yourself for this talk because it's a one-to-one opportunity, and you can ask any questions. And if you are not prepared, like you can just miss your chance to understand technologies deeper. I booked two appointments, one about Reality Kit and the other was about metal. Unfortunately, the second one was rescheduled due to notes I provided for the appointment. They decided to reschedule it for another expert, and unfortunately the time was not convenient for me, so I had to decline it. Fortunately, the first one, Reality Kit, was okay, so we started it at the booked time. Unfortunately, I made a big mistake because I started to prepare for this appointment shortly before, like half an hour, and it was a little mistake. Of course, I had all my questions in my head, so it was not a big deal, a big problem, but in a hurry I tried to prepare all materials I had. For example, a project and a few screenshots, a special video, because that was points of my interest. The expert was working on rendering stuff in Reality Kit, so it fitted me best, and almost all questions were answered. But you need to keep in mind that they cannot talk about something what was not released yet. So don't be shy to ask questions, but sometimes they just could not answer them because of, I don't know, NDA, for example. So be sure that you can ask all questions and even show related materials to it, because they can dive deep into the context and answer right to your question. Besides, you would have only 30 minutes, so focus on something what is really important for you, and don't talk too much about something what is unrelated to this. I don't know what it can be, but yeah, keep in mind that. Besides, don't forget to copy paste everything what they can send to you after the appointment ends, after the meeting ends. All the chat history would be deleted, so be sure that you copy pasted all materials. For example, there were a few needed links which helped me a lot. And yeah, experts from Apple are really pleasant, they're helpful, and they try their best to help you and provide all the needed info. They can tell you what is underneath all the technologies, what you are interested in, and I had a great time with my expert. By the way, when you try to roll into any Apple laboratory activities, you also got a special invitation to a closed Slack community, but not community, maybe just workspace. For example, in 2023 it was dubbed 2023, and it was just a Q&A where you can you had a bunch of different channels. Every channel relates to the topic which could be interesting for you, and inside all these channels I really lost, and I had no idea what is how to behave there, what I can do, and how to ask my own questions. The hint here is that you need to check when something is updated inside the channel you are interested in, and at that time they would notify you that you can ask your questions in to a special bot. After you ask your question, the bot checks it, and in some time the Apple experts also would answer a question, and as in one-by-one meeting, they also tries to be extra supportive, but when they have no opportunity to answer you or no opportunity to give you good feedback, they just ask you to make a special issue which could lead to a special update in next, for example, Vision OS release. I want to cover top questions from all these labs in my future videos. Don't be upset if you think you missed all the party related to Apple laboratories, because you still have an opportunity to visit offline laboratories. Regarding to the official information on the Apple site, links below, you could visit Apple laboratories in Cupertino, London, Munich, Shanghai, Singapore, and Tokyo. To be honest, I find no info how long these laboratories would last, but it seems to me it's reasonable that it will be till the end of the year. In this case, Apple would have a chance to bring as many developers to a Vision OS as possible. To be honest, I tried to write to Tim Cook official email, but they also answered me that they are working on their schedule, and they will post all the info on the link I mentioned earlier. So if you read from the website, you would have an opportunity to attend an Apple Vision Pro Developer Laboratory, where you can experience your iPadOS and iOS applications running on the Apple Vision Pro. So you would have the direct support from Apple, and I'm not sure, but I bet that Vision Pro headsets would be there, and you can also try all that experience on your real head. But we'll see only later in July, because now we can only speak about this or argue as me with different people. For me, that was an exciting opportunity to talk to Apple experts directly in one-to-one meeting. I hope that this video could also help you to prepare for the next laboratories, or it was just interesting for you. Definitely in 2024 I would also try to take as much as possible from WWDC. See you in next videos.